Good Friday morning, my friends. TGIF, welcome to the weekend. I know many of us are still, having to finish up that work thing. However, it's the summer and many of us are ready for that weekend. I know that a lot of us are really struggling with heat right now. So I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that for us, I think in Alberta, it's supposed to get cooler next week. I'm hoping. It's really, really hot. So no matter what the heat level is, we always have that ability to control us. I know that our faculties start to wane a bit as we get hotter because we get tired. We're more, cranky, right? We're not happy. Our body isn't happy. We don't like the extremes. That said, when we stay in control of us, we are more able to make positive choices for us rather than joining the rest of the world in reacting. So that's something we need to keep in mind, especially as we start to exit August. This week, this reading is for the week of August 21st to the 27th. Crazy. This is the last full week of August. And then we're going to be transcending into September, which ushers in the fall. So we are starting to see that wrap up a bit, and it's going to be interesting to see what the fall brings, as I keep being told it's going to be colorful. Not sure what that means, but I'm excited to see. So for this week, I have chosen, it's a beautiful, very bold deck. Here, let's see if we can get some of the cards here. This is the Arcanya Tarot. It was one of my Kickstarter campaigns that I supported. He actually was very persistent, and I loved it. He put his deck up. I supported it. Like, look at the imagery. It's just gorgeous, right? And then it didn't get funded. And then he went in and did it again, and he got it funded. So it was fantastic. Then I'm going to be pairing it. This is the Energy Oracle. Pretty standard and pretty clear. I wanted that clarity. Not that this deck isn't going to give it to us, but it adds that element and layer, which is really helpful. If I can maybe shuffle the deck without getting my hair in it, be good. Oh, it's a good Friday. So let's look at August 21st through to the 27th. What does that bring, my friends? What can they expect? So this is actually a very busy week. On the 22nd, which is Monday, it's Be an Angel Day. I will be doing an angel reading on Monday. Tuesday, Virgo decides to come high in the sky. So Leo is jumping down, and we're heading into Virgo already. Caught it. Oh, look, the Chariot. It's a pretty card. So there's a lot happening next week, which is kind of fun. So we had two cards jump. So let's get both cards here. So like I said, this is the Chariot. Come on, camera. I love it. I love the fact that he doesn't have the reins, because a lot of times people still put reins on these things. The steeds never have the reins. The charioteer, he uses his willpower, his drive, himself. He directs where he's going. The Chariot talks about movement, and movement that is controlled. Like I just said, we need to stay in control of us, because not only is that going to support us in the here and now, it's going to strengthen our ability to do so, especially as in September we are looking at a Mercury retrograde. And the other card that fell with it, the Three of Wind, also known, of course, wind, we're looking at air, we're looking at swords. The Three of Swords. This is why we need that direction. We need that willpower. That heartache and pain is going to be looming over us. We don't like getting stuck. We don't like the pain. However, there's familiarity in that pain, and many of us are kind of afraid to move away from it. What if? So it's going to be important that we take it slow and steady. We don't need the Chariot running full speed. In the original deck, he's hardly moving. Actually, the steeds look like they're Sphinx. They look like they're taking a break, and that's okay. That slow and steady movement is going to help you out the most. Oh yeah, we've got the fourth card in the Major Arcana, and the camera doesn't want to pick them up. The Emperor. We have that stable, very wise energy. He kind of trumps the Three of Swords or the Three of Wind because, well, he's the Emperor. He's in total and utter control. So knowing that we are going to need to be stable and grounded, staying in control, staying up here rather than that reactive self that the Three of Swords wants us to embrace. We've got the heat that's aggravating things and aggravating those around us. Know that this is not just a single person situation. This is a global situation because globally, the majority of people in, I guess, the Northern Hemisphere is feeling that heat wave. I can't say about things like Australia. I think actually they're in their winter, so it's totally different there. However, us who are dealing with the heat, we're really dealing with it. And that's going to impact their ability to deal with you. So know that you're going to have it coming from a couple different sides, internally and externally. I love this. Amazonian warrior, messenger of ash, or the Page of Wands. So that page talks about taking things not as seriously, kind of lightening up that Emperor because he can get pretty dictator real quick. We do want to have that control. We want to have that stability. But to balance it out with a little bit of joy, a little bit of passion, and a lot of play. Because we get too caught up in our head. We get too caught up in what we have to do. That Three of Swords is going to erupt because we get afraid. That what if comes back again. So this week is going to be a lot about balance, a lot about stability, and making some choices that are going to be meaningful for you. Because what's meaningful for you may not be, and usually isn't, meaningful for others. It's not their journey. You need that connection. That's why we have the Page of Wands. If you don't have that connection, it becomes another thing that you have to do, and I'm just going to get it done. You lose out on that creative element. You lose out on that insight, because when we get out of our head, we get out of the problem, we get out of those demands, that expectation, I want to move forward, I got to do. You take that time for some creative energy, that's time for self. You get out of your head because you're not focusing in on this, you're focusing in on that creativity. What happens? Those ahas come forward. You're getting out of your way. You're focusing in on something else. So know that that's going to be an important element this week, especially when we feel like we're stuck. When we feel that stuck, I want you to take a little bit of time for you. It does not need to be a big amount of time, but a little bit of time to get out of your way, get out of that stuck and into some creative fun, because that fun will go a long way in fueling you. Okay, so let's look at the beginning of the week. What can my friends expect from the beginning of the week? So like I said, Monday, you will get an angel reading, so we'll be live. You'll get me a lot this week because there's a lot going on. And there is shifting going on, which again, we're going from a very stable and very concrete energy to a little bit more of a flexible energy. Sometimes that can be a bit of a wobble too. There's always so many things in play. It's never just one thing, right? It's always a lot of things. Maybe you're going to pick it up. The 12th card in the Major Arcana, the Hanged Man. Like I said, you got to get out of your way. You got to get out of that doom and gloom, that dread, that fear. You got to get out of the expectations and demands and get into and shift out of that control, which is a false control, into more of that creative fun. It helps you with that guidance, and it helps the high vibrational beings, the universe, the God, Goddess, the creator, whatever you want to call that and label that bigger energy, to support you with that wisdom and that guidance. Okay, come on. This is the Hierophant, the 5th card in the Major Arcana. We're starting to see that the beginning of the week is going to be a big impact for you. We've got double Major Arcana, which means we've got a bigger aspect, well, I don't want to say bigger picture because it's really not. It's like a smidge of the bigger picture. But we're going to see those bigger energies come into play and have a big impact, even though it may be small, steady steps, but it's going to make a big impact, a positive impact on you. So the Hierophant is the 5th card in the Major Arcana, and it talks about that teacher, that guide, that support. Know that not every teacher looks the same. Know that it can and sometimes is that child, that friend, those individuals that you kind of minimize their impact in your life. Be open to the messages. Be open to those teachers, because sometimes those teachers are hidden in plain sight and we miss them. We do not and should not have just one teacher. We have multiple teachers teaching us throughout our lifetime. So being open to these teachers, reconnecting in, and being open to their message, because that's going to help you shift out of that sad and that hurt and into that movement forward, into the Emperor, into that warrior, which we want. We want to be able to move forward. We want that stability. We want that knowledge. So the beginning of the week, being open to that. Will the angels be part of that? It's a very good possibility, especially as I have the reading scheduled for Be an Angel Day. All right, let's go on to the middle of the week. And as we, start to enter into Virgo here, and the next chapter of August, I guess, as we get a different zodiac sign overseeing the world, overseeing the skies. Also know, because I've got the Virgo reading on Tuesday, and usually I post a meditation or a healing on Tuesdays, I'm going to do the Virgo reading on Tuesday, and you guys are going to have a new moon healing on Wednesday. All right? And then, of course, the new moon is on Saturday. So like I said, there's a lot going on this week. Oh, come on. I know it's a very grade card. There we go. Beautiful card. This is the messenger of rain. Rain is equated to the cups, which is equated to, of course, the Page of Cups. Talks about that flexibility. Again, very much that creativity. We've got the yin and yang of creativity here. We've got the rain and we've got the ash. So the cup and the wand. We have that passion-based connection with the wand, and we have that intuitive-based connection with the cup. So we need both aspects to really create, and we have that. Now, obviously, we do have the double messengers or the double pages, and they're the 11th card in the Minor Arcana. When we have that multiple 11, and 11s are a mastery number, the angels are telling you to believe in yourself and use those abilities, that belief, to support you moving forward. It's going to go a long way. Now, obviously the Page of Cups talks about that creative element, for sure. That playful, that inquisitive energy, absolutely. Just like the cousin here, we need that playful kind of questioning energy. What's more, the Page of Cups brings in that element of flexibility. Like I said, this is going to be a global situation where a lot of us are going to feel that pain and fear really at the forefront. They're going to be impacting you and being reactive. Like I said at the very beginning of this session, we're going to have to be in control of us and how we react to others. So that flexibility, not only with others, but with self, is going to go a long way in fueling you so you're not reactive and you're not causing yourself more challenge. We're back to the Wind or the Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wind. Now, the Queen of Swords, she's usually sitting on a throne and she has these little tassely bits that are kind of hard to see, but they are there, that talk about how she's acquired all her knowledge. That's from firsthand experience. She's hit those rocks hard. We need to use that perseverance, our knowledge, to pick ourselves up, just as she has. Using that divine feminine that's going to be coming forward and stronger as the week progresses to our advantage, to support us in picking ourselves up. So know that that knowledge is there. We need to use the knowledge, not the emotion, to fuel us this week. Swords as a suit talk about knowledge. They don't talk about emotion. They're very Vulcan, actually. So it's us as humans who add the layer of emotion, which we need to do because that's a human element. That's our trait. We need that emotion. If not, we become cyborgs, and that's an entirely different situation. So know that that emotion is there. However, you want to take a step back and look at it. Rather than getting caught up in that emotion, go past that emotion to that knowledge. That's where the Queen is really going to help you. We need to use our head, take that step back. If a friend came to you with that situation, or someone who you kind of know, an acquaintance or something, who had that same situation, what are you seeing? What could you learn from that? Stay out of the emotion, use your head. It's going to support you in connecting in to that understanding, connecting into that flexibility. It's going to help create solutions for you. They are there. We just get caught up in that emotion, and it's a stumbling block. It's a big one this week. That emotion, we need to be mindful of how it's serving us, because sometimes it serves to cause more problems, and others it serves for that growth. This week, it's more that problem. It's going to be a problem child. We're going to have to use our head, use our tools to overcome it. All right, let's go on to the end of the week. What can my friends expect from the end of the week? Of course, we're all ready into Virgo here. The new moon is coming forth. And know, guys, that you can use, I've already created the new moon healing. It's ready to roll for next week. I was ahead of myself this week. I'm very proud of myself. I was on the ball for a while anyway. And it's about releasing that heaviness in our heart center. So you have that ability to use that healing. Know, though, that if that's not your biggest stumble, that you're feeling, okay, you know what, I feel in control. If I only could, say, have some extra sleep, you can use past ones. The new moon energy, it's an energy. It's what aspect you're going to call on it and how you're going to use it. In those healings, I just direct you on how we can use that energy. So you can use any of the past ones It's still a lunar energy. Now, for those who are new to my channel and are like, I have no idea what she's talking about, welcome. I give you the guidance and tools to support you in overcoming some of these challenges, making things a little bit easier for you. I have a lot of playlists that have meditations, healings, and they're just tools for you. They're all guided. I know if someone said to me to meditate, I would not be able to do it. A guided meditation is easier because you don't have to just sit in a room and be quiet and focus in on your breath. You're focusing in on a journey or what the person's saying. So it's a lot easier. I have a new moon healing playlist that, especially this week, as we have that new moon energy, which brings in new aspects that helps us with, well, healing and working with self to rejuvenate ourselves. Well, you can use this energy. So this week, especially at the end of the week, you can choose which healings, one, more, it doesn't matter, that you want, that are going to support you. Again, big piece here, don't get hyper focused in on it. You want that play and that creativity, that fun. Okay, so don't get too caught up on it, but know these are support that's going to help pick you up when you're struggling the most. Sorry. Really not surprised to see this guy come in. The Devil, the 15th card in the Major Arcana. That ego self that brings in the self-doubt, the negative self-talk, and those icky feelings that hold us in our small little box. So now at the end of the week, it's that Three of Swords explodes. The end of the week, you are going to need these tools. You are going to need to stay in that control and that frontal cortex in your head. When we stay in control with what's called the frontal cortex, so the frontal part of our brain, that's where we process. Well, not surprisingly, what else is right at the front of our brain? Our third eye. When we use those two in conjunction, so we've got the pages, right? The Page of Cups, so that intuition. The Page of Ash or Page of Wands, that fire. So we have that determination and that intuition, and we're using and being supported by the Queen of Swords. We will be able to pick ourselves up and battle this. It's our choice. Where are you going to put your energy? Because the Emperor has more control, more stability than what the Devil does. Usually the Devil, you see this kind of very cliche devil symbol perched on a bench, and then there's two people with chains that are loosely around their necks. At any given time, those individuals could have chosen to take the nooses off those chains and walk away. They don't, because of fear, because of sadness, because of that control that our ego has over us. So know that when you use your knowledge, your tools, and that stability of the Emperor, you're going to be able to outwit and outmaneuver the Devil and take that noose off your neck. Knowing that the end of the week is going to be a challenge, my recommendation is schedule in small aspects throughout the latter part of the week, things that are going to support you, whether that be a meditation, a walk in the park, lunch. Let's be honest, a lot of us don't actually eat during the day because we're so caught up in our expectations and demands that it's from, 9 to 5, I go, 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 go. Schedule in that. Schedule in time for friends. Schedule in that fun. Schedule in that creativity. You may feel like you're a little bit of, kind of that very scheduled, rigid person. Don't do it tightly. But make sure that you give yourself some time and energy for those fun aspects. For those aspects that are going to give back to you. Yeah, should turn the card. I do that a lot here. I start just channeling stuff and then the cards to reinforce it. So this is the 10 of Rain or the 10 of Cups. So endings and beginnings. We have the ability to end this and start something new, or we can end this and continue in and letting that cycle, well, spin us downwards. It's an easy slide to get onto, and that would be something different, not something we want to encourage. We want that new to be exciting and fun and bring us growth, not sadness and more heartache. The 10 of Cups talks about that support. We've got lots of it. We've got supports, whether they be our birth family. And yes, I know many people struggle with their birth family, but we have family that we've created, whether it be through marriage, your best friend that's just like a sibling, your cousin that's more than a cousin. They're a very close confidant. We have that ability to connect in with them. Have that fun. Let them support you and nurture you, especially when we're having those hard parts. Calling them up and saying, look, I'm really struggling. Do you want to go for coffee? Right? I'm really struggling. Do you want to go for a walk with me in the park? Whatever. Asking for some support and being open for them to need the support as well, guys. Remember, this is not just a for you thing. This is an everybody thing. At the end of the week, people are really going to be struggling. So know that that's going to be a problem. Having that flexibility and that courage to say, okay, you know what? Both of us have had a hard week, right? Let's go do something fun. Let's maybe go to the movies. Let's go I keep going for a walk. Like walk keeps coming up because that nature, that air, you're using the natural elements to support you. So if you go for a walk, you're getting out of that physical area. You're being able to ground yourself because you're usually walking in nature. Even if you're walking in a city center, they usually have things like trees. There's usually birds and squirrels and different things like that. People's front lawns. There is an element of nature even in the concrete jungle. So going out, getting that air, clearing your head, revitalizing you, it goes a long way. Let's see what else is going to support you guys. What further supports can we add to my friends or add for my friends so that they can overcome the challenges they're going to face in the week ahead? You have a number of major arcanas. So these tools, what you're doing, how you're going forward is going to support you in not only this week ahead, but the weeks and months ahead as well. It's kind of tools and lessons that you're going to be reminded of as we go forward. The angel of love. Not only loving you, but loving others. Having that compassion. Giving yourself that schedule. Scheduling in time for self. Scheduling in for creativity. Scheduling in for time with others. That loving, supportive, nurturing energy will go a long way in overcoming the devil, the heartache, the pain, the struggle. Haha, thank you very much. Know that this is not something that, should you work at, that is going to be a fail. Even if you have those hard times, as we always do, we do question ourselves. We do allow ourselves to do that pity party. Be conscious of it. Where are you at? And then shift your energy. That in itself is a victory. You're not dwelling in it, and you're not allowing that pity party, that sad, that frustrated, that fear to grow and fester. You're shifting out of it, going, yeah, that sucks. Okay, I'm going to go for a walk and clear my head. I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'm going to have a glass of water. I'm going to clear my energies. And if you're really, really struggling, if it's like you're at a point of the devil and the week is just getting on top of you and people are insane and you're just like, I don't know what to do. I'll give you an easy tool that you can do most places. When you're feeling that frustration, that anger, that pain, go into the bathroom or into the kitchen or wherever there's a running water source and run your hands under the water. You don't have to add anything but water, and just let the water come off your hands. That's going to help diffuse your energies. Most places where you go have a bathroom or a kitchen or something. There's water somewhere. And if you happen to be lucky enough to be in, say, I don't know, a park that has a river or a water fountain, put your hands in. Do not worry. Your guardian angel is with you always and will transmute that energy to a high vibrational energy as it comes out, so it doesn't harm said body of water. But that tool can support you anytime you need to be able to get through some of that challenge so that you are victorious. A warrior, any warrior, doesn't go into battle with no tools. Even their skills and training is a tool. Know that we have the same. We need to be prepared, and we need to stay up here so we can access them. Oh yeah. Magician and the mirror. Very much connected into the magician card, where we're using our abilities and our tools with our everyday aspects to create what it is we need and want. The magician in the mirror takes it up a little bit more. Talks about that balance and how we need to sometimes send that energy back to us rather than externally. We sometimes need it internally as well. So making sure that we're taking care of ourselves, that love not only goes externally, but comes internally, that we have that balanced nature. So I do have a number of meditations that deal with balance that can help you maintain that balance, can help you start to calm and take control of the many balls you're juggling. Because it's not just 2 or 3, it's a ball pit of balls. Taking that time for you, giving back to you, will help strengthen and fuel you to deal with these challenges so that you're able to continue to grow, to thrive. And what's more, have that fulfillment, that shift that you're looking for. I know it's going to be a hard week. However, remember, you've got this. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this insight into what's coming ahead. I know the forecast isn't all sunshine and roses. However, these challenging weeks give us the most opportunity for growth. Now, if you did enjoy this reading, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It helps people find me on the sea of YouTube. However, more importantly, as you've heard in this reading, there's a lot more coming ahead. So the best way that you don't miss anything is to subscribe and hit that little red bell so you don't miss out when I'm live or when I've posted something. And if you really did enjoy this reading and you want a little bit more, I've got more supports and tools on my Patreon page. There you can support me and I'll support you even more. I've provided a link below, so why not go check it out? Again, I want to thank you for joining me this week. Until tomorrow, my friends.